everyone, my name is Ben Songrath, an instructor with EdTech Teacher. So in this short video, we're going to look at Apple Classroom in a little more depth. So this is part 2 of my Apple Classroom series. In this video, we're going to look at how to launch apps and navigate students in Safari from the Apple Classroom app, and then also how students can then share information back with the teacher. So without further ado, let's jump into the Classroom app. All right, here we are. We have our teacher iPad on the left-hand side that's inside of Apple Classroom, and on the right-hand side we have our student iPad. So I want to launch my student into a particular app. So I would do this a lot when I was teaching. I would want all of my kids to go to a particular app at the same time. Well, sometimes some kids got there and sometimes they didn't. So what Apple Classroom allows is for me to do that on my own. So I click that app icon where it says open, second one from the left-hand side, and I find the app that I want to send the students to. So maybe I want them to go to Google Docs. I can select Google Docs, and on the right-hand side, the student iPad opens to Google Docs, just like that. And then when I hit done, you can see on the left-hand side over here that Bob is now inside of Google Docs. And if he closes out of that, it should update and say he's now in the home screen. So if I want to go ahead and do something else where maybe I want to make sure Bob can't leave Google Docs, so I'm going to lock him in. You can see at the bottom there where it says lock in app after opening. If I slide that across and now I send Bob to Google Docs, it's going to give Bob a warning saying that Ben wants to lock your iPad. So your students are going to have a little control over this where they say yes or no. So this is where you're going to have to kind of navigate the waters, if you will, with your students. So I'm going to say allow for this, and it's going to launch Google Docs on the student iPad. And then you can't see it, but in the background here, I'm hitting the home button and nothing's happening. I cannot get out of Google Docs. Now I can still navigate inside of the app, but I cannot get out of Google Docs if I wanted to. So to unlock the student iPad, I have to go up into the Apple Classroom app here, and then click in the middle where it says unlock. I can do that, and I unlock Bob's iPad, and now he can get back to his home screen. So that's how you can open up and launch apps on student machines in your classroom. So pretty cool stuff. The other thing that's really neat is that you can navigate students directly to a web page. So you can see the Safari icon is in the middle there, the third over. I can select that, and I can launch them into either iBooks, iTunes U courses, or, as I said earlier, Safari. So I'm going to go here. Now the trick is that you have to have the website booked in Safari, or bookmarked in Safari. So it has to be in a bookmark in order for you to be able to send them to. You can't just type in a website to send. So I've got one here in favorites. I'm going to send Bob to my summer workshops for EdTech Teacher website, and you can see Bob is now on the ettsummer.org, just like that. This would be awesome for when I was teaching because I wanted students to go to a particular site. I wouldn't have had to write the site up on the board, or I can just quickly and easily, boom, share it out to them, and all of their iPads go to that particular site. So another neat thing that Apple Classroom allows you to do is collect student work or get information from students via AirDrop. So one of the ways we're going to show that is we're going to send our teacher iPad here, edtechteacher.org. So the student goes up to the Sharo box and next to the address bar up there. He's going to click on that, and when AirDrop populates, you can see Ben EdTech Teacher shows up. So this is different than airdropping directly to the iPad. This is directly dropping to the EdTech Teacher class. So I can select that, and over here on the teacher Apple Classroom, you can see it didn't pop up right away, but it has a new box called Sharing. So I'm going to now select that and see that Bob shared a link, and if I click that, it's going to open up that link. So that means that students can't just airdrop you websites constantly and create a disruption in your class, that you have to purposefully open them when they share something to you. And when you want to delete that, you can hit edit, select it, and delete, and it goes away. So it stops showing up in your screen. So those are two ways that you can now re-engage your students using Apple Classroom, being able to navigate to apps for them and then navigating to websites for them, or iBooks or iTunes U courses. The other thing that's powerful is that students can share information back with the teacher without having to, clog up an AirDrop stream or bog down a network. It's going to be really cool to see this in action. So that's it for video number 2. Stay tuned for video number 3. We're going to dive into some more details of Apple Classroom. As always, reach out to me on Twitter at Mr_Songroth. Look for us on edtechteacher.org and see what we've got going on with our summer workshops or our summits. If you have any questions, email me, ben@edtechteacher.org. Thanks, and hopefully I'll see you in video 3.